Okay, so for today, what we're going to do is we are going to review the concepts from Marking Period 1 in preparation for our progress check, which is our summative assessment at the end of the marking period. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to review each of these 5 concepts in any order at your own pace. So for example, I have a Wiser Me linked here, in which what you're going to do is you're going to look at this table, answer the questions, and if you prefer, you can listen to the instructions and you can either type your answer or record your answer. Completely up to you. You're going to do that for all the questions within this Wiser Me. If you get stuck and you have any questions related specifically to expressions, you can type them on our Questions on Expressions Padlet. All of these are linked right here within the hyperdoc. When you have questions for equations, you can link them here within this hyperdoc, specifically listed for equations. This equations assignment is a class kick assignment in which you're going to solve a word problem, solve 2 literal equations, and then solve 2 equations, and then record the property for every step of the process. And I've listed a word bank of properties down here for you. As for the inequalities, what you're going to do is you're going to click this link for Quizlet and complete a matching quiz where these are the questions and these are the answers. So for example, let's say I'm asked to solve 5x minus 4 is greater than 11. I will solve that. You can use a whiteboard or a marker, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to look over here for my answer and then list that as letter B. So that's what you would do for the Quizlet. Again, if you have any questions on inequalities, you can post them in the Padlet right here. As for exponents, you're going to complete this quizzes, so you can click this link right here. It's going to ask you for a code, so copy and paste this code when it asks you for the code. And for this quizzes, all you're going to do is answer questions about solving exponential equations. Some of them have the same base, some of them are going to have different bases. You are allowed to use your exponent table, and I will link the exponent table on here for you for easy access if you don't have it on paper. As for functions, you're going to complete these questions in the Google form, and there are 2 sections, so be careful with that. In the Google form, you're going to start by listing your first and last name, review this graph, and then based off this graph, answer the 6 questions below. And then don't forget to hit next because there is another graph where you're going to answer similar questions. Again, if you have questions on functions, you can enter them into this Padlet here, and as I previously mentioned, you can enter questions here for exponents. Now, if you finish early, you can go ahead and create some GimKit questions for us by completing this GimKit Kit collab. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to gimkit.com/play, which is also linked in the hyperdoc, and type in this code, and then all you're going to do is you're going to create questions for us to solve as a GimKit later in class. So what you can do is you can create any question related to the concepts presented in Marking Period 1. So again, anything on expressions, equations, exponents, inequalities, or functions, and then create the question with one correct answer and 3 incorrect answers. Now try to make it difficult. All right, I want you to create 3 incorrect questions that you think others might accidentally pick. So make it difficult, make them tricky. All right, make it fun. Okay, and that's what you're going to do. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand and let me know. I'd be happy to work with you.